Hi guys, this is my Connecting the Eras project by Riley. I had a lot of fun with this project, so I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. For my first piece for the Middle Ages, I chose Amazing Grace by Celtic Woman. This piece is a little bit older, but they did redo it in a style that was particular to them with the use of bagpipes. You can hear in the beginning they have the drone that underlays the main melodic line that makes it that homophonic nature that was super particular to the Middle Ages as well. This song is a religious piece, which is basically everything that the Middle Ages embodied. So I'll go ahead and play that for you here. You can kind of hear there that it is very much like a chant. And for the next time period, for the Renaissance era, I chose Ain't No Mountain High Enough. This has a little bit of the text painting that is super popular for that era. You can hear that in Ain't No Mountain High Enough, in the pitch is increasing at high, but it's decreasing when they say the word low in Ain't No Valley Low Enough, as well as when they say wide enough. Wide is stretched out and held out a little bit longer to create that visual that was popular in that era. The rhythm is implied by the text, not so much in the beginning, but towards the end of this section, you'll hear that it kind of has a change where it like picks that little like beat right there, but it does still stay with that homophonic type nature that was particular to this era, especially with the Council of Trent that kept everything very, very simple and tried to keep it as much as close to the Middle Ages as absolutely possible. So I'll show you that one here. And then for the Baroque era, I chose Proud Mary by Tina Turner. She had a little bit of extra flavor going on there, so I did include two different clips of that. For her song in the beginning, it starts out with that common time, the same simple meter that's really popular and well known in the Baroque era, and it switches from the homophonic type nature to polyphony, where you can hear her. She has the vocalist that's singing that main melodic line that she comes in with later in the piece, and then she's also speaking and explaining the piece at the same time. And in the second clip, you'll hear a little flavor of that extravagance, where she switches in timbre instead of going from the smooth sort of nature that she was having in the beginning. She switches to a more gravelly tone when the beat picks up. So this is going to be that first piece with the polyphony that you'll hear here.
You know, every now and then, I think you might like to hear something from us. Nice, easy. There's just one thing. You see, we never, ever do nothing nice, easy.
And then this is the extravagance. Alright, and then for the next time period, the classical time period, I chose Carol of the Bells by Trans-Siberian Orchestra. In the first section of this song, it is a completely different thing than what occurs in the shift. It has mezzo piano, it has that question and answer and sequences where you're hearing the main melodic line being played again in a higher pitch. It's very much homophonic where you just have that same line going on, no real distractions from that, and the tempo is very slow. But once that shift occurs, you hear it go from that mezzo piano to a fortissimo, the tempo increases dramatically, and you hear a little bit of layers being added where it becomes that polyphony. So I will show you that one here as well. Okay, and then for the romantic era, this piece changes back by going back to that lyrical melody where you have a vocalist that is taking on the melodic line, and then you have the strong emotions that he's portraying with the storyline of finding love and like sticking to it despite other people doubting that. And you can see in the artist's face where he becomes really into the music and shows that virtuosity where he's not only singing the storyline but he's also like embodying it with everything he does.
Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to.
And then for the final era of the 20th century, I chose Hey Ya by Outkast. This piece has a lot of different flavors going on. It does have that syncopated rhythm that's really particular to its era. The rhythm does change once it enters the rap section. And of course, because it does go from singing to rapping, it does change in timbre to a little bit more smooth, to a little more gravelly and rough. And then it does like kind of change it up by having the harmony sing the main chorus instead of the main vocalist singing the chorus as you would normally see in other pieces. Alright, and that was my connecting project. I really love doing this and being able to see how some of my favorite artists and people I've grown up listening to, like Outkast and Tina Turner and Elvis Presley, and like listening to their songs again and hearing how they drew from the past eras in ways that I wouldn't have previously seen. And these are my citations, so thank you. Have a great night.